Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. Um, Welcome to Taurus season. We are entering officially the promised land, and yeah, the full weight of everything you have sowed will continue to reap. Aries is grapes, Taurus turns it into fine wine. Aries is the power, Taurus is physical strength. So the power you activated is now over the next 30 days set to strengthen. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius are methods and let's just say expressions of energy. All right. And so this transit is the first level of evolving your capacity to physically harness the natural energy that runs through your body, whether through external or internal sources or both, so that by the time we end Taurus season, I like to think of it as your MP bar, the physical power that you have evolved in order to strengthen your physiology and quality to harness this strength, to harness energy, will prepare you for Gemini season where you're creating magic abilities. If you've ever played an RPG or even Pokemon, magic abilities use MP. The MP is the strength of your own mana pool of how much energy as a currency you can use to facilitate a magical experience. So let's say right now your MP is at 5. Through this physical strength training, by the time we're at the end of Taurus season, if the magical ability in Gemini takes 10 MP each time you use it, then you will have stretched your MP to like 100 MP. So now you have like 10 uses of this as you develop it in Gemini season. It's the greatest analogy that I can pretty much give you, although there's more nuance to this. We've got the eclipse this season. And this is definitely set to not only manifest the evolution of your character, but something very important I want you to understand during Pluto and Aquarius. This is a turning of the age where we're coming to the end of everything traditional you've ever understood. A lot of older people and younger people who have this mindset who are wondering, why aren't things the way they used to be? Like idiots, not recognizing that that's over. We're headed into a new period. Like, don't be these idiots that are trying to, romanticize the past. You never getting that shit back. Like, please embrace the fact that we are in a new era. So with that being said, this new element, there's nothing new under the sun, but this revolutionary, progressive, eccentric element of how many of you who are meant to be leaders of this new world are breaking through are causing mass insecurity and intimidation to people who, with this old world illusion of what constituted what it means to be cool, what it means to be authentic, a lot of what has been pushed in our face was never authentic. If you think about pop culture and mainstream over the past few decades and centuries, it was never really a representative of what was really cool. It was a lot of peer pressure of what people kind of, a fake way through a fake society of this. So now we're starting to see this transformation of authentic themes of authenticity and realness that are going to be the new cool. Something that you're going to start to see over the next decade. A lot of what was seen as uncool, a lot of what was seen as lame is the new cool now because people are fed up with this fake shit. So all these people who've been pioneering all this fake shit, trying to fake it till they make it, trying to wear this and that to fit in, they're going to start to notice that you are emerging as a new leader in this new age of knowledge and thought. And it's going to intimidate them to no end. You, while we're still in this transition period, will be triggering these archetypes of collectives and people socially who will wish to have you take away your advantage by peer pressuring you with this Pluto square to feel that, oh, you're lame, but you're not focusing on them. They're focusing on you because of the cognitive dissonance that they see, and that what used to work for them to give them clout, no one cares about that bullshit anymore because people are awake. Where they needed deception to facilitate that, and people are seeing through the deception, and they want what you have, Taurus value have. So your mission, should you choose to accept, is to build this value. You have a lot of insecure losers who are so image obsessed that they care so much about what other people think about what they're wearing and what trends they're following. And they haven't yet realized that none of that shit matters in a destabilizing economy headed into war, where you're going to really have to tap back into the roots of who you are. And all this spiritual work you've done to develop your psyche wasn't mumbo jumbo, it was practical. And you will see this Taurus season. So as people get ready to wash away the wayside, get ready for this revolution into this creation of a new world where really the currency is not only your authenticity and natural energy, but the uniqueness that procures the element of superpower you're manifesting. Where a lot of people won't tap into their powers because it just wasn't trending, it wasn't cool, and now these dumbasses have to fend for themselves while you lead the new world. And I'm very condescending towards this because this is a generational aspect that we're going to see in our lifetime kick the bucket. You're going to see all sorts of people who thought it was cool to glorify violence and fakeness and whatnot suddenly realize, oh, that wasn't cool. Yeah, whatever, stupid. Anyway, you want to get really, really excited about this because as you champion and pioneer being real, being yourself, this is still in the beginning stages where I'm talking about the climate of how things will be 17 years from now, but starting now, as we're in between this age of Pisces and Aquarius, and more into Aquarius than we're in Pisces coming out of that. So this moon transit is preparing you. This is a dirty new moon in Taurus since it started in Aries, but it's still signatured in Taurus. This is grounding the unconventional nature and alignment with destiny to what your value is and what foundation on this promised land you're getting ready to jack in the beanstalk, evolve your profits, evolve your value. This is going to bring so much grounded confidence in your natural value in the face of people who once again jock ride image but don't have substance. And so for those of you with substance, you're going to see very clearly how tides have shifted to where you're in demand. It's all about supply and demand. Most of this shit is just business. So you're in demand. All this fake shit people doing is no longer in demand. It never was. Now the illusions are clearing and seeing you were always in demand. And so this is going to be the beginning activation stage of planting these seeds of value so that by the time we get into the moon in Leo, you are courageously on stage breaking through those seeds. And in the moon in Scorpio eclipse, we fully harvest the wisdom of this value so that we can create more value in understanding the knowledge of it as we complete this cycle. And then your MP bar has been extended. Jupiter is in Taurus, getting ready to now level up your MP from 50 to 100, right? Let's say this Taurus season, you're building it from 5 to 50. Jupiter enters Taurus, you now level it up from 50 to 100, just an analogy. Really focus on what level and quality of natural energy you're getting ready to harness. And over the next 10 days, prepare for the most unconventional awakening and manifestation of supernatural ability through your physiology, clear senses, just reawakening powerfully. And as we move towards this Pluto gate, you are stepping out of this bubble that as the Taurus energy will sextile the Pisces, Saturn, and Neptune, you will begin to ground in this 3D physical experience the metaphysical nature of how your imagination has been influencing things in the physical. Welcome to the land of instant manifestation, where with the sextile to Saturn, your beliefs have to be in integrity because it's not your conscious thought that will be manifesting, it's your subconscious beliefs. And if you're not in alignment with them, you're going to create a nightmare for yourself. If you are, you're going to create a dream in this promised land where you will get to see the full element of everything you're worth. 6 months coming into Scorpio season, where you will socialize with others to invest this value with people who you can trust and not losers who you need to murk and just stab in the heart and kill. I swear I'm not violent. I'm not angry. I'm not feeling a certain way, but I am militant because moving forward, the kitty gloves are off more than they ever were. And there's a conviction with which you must stand on your own values. Taurus teaches you to stand for something or you will fall for anything. And, we're going to see what you really made of. All right. Hope you enjoy this Taurus season. Once again, by the time the moon makes it into the beginning of Gemini in a couple of days, we will be manifesting the activation of this through a perspective that changes our idea of what we're worth. Basically, because you're going to be That's where the instant manifestation begins. This is just the footing to prepare it and install it into your body. Okay, so really reflect on, what is it you're worth? What are your values? Relative to what you've evolved with who you are, it's time to really feel the natural quality of what it is. And as we activate and integrate this over the next 2 weeks, remember that you are worth everything you desire. Elements of manifestation from law of assumption coaches will be amazing to revisit, because you'll be able to innovate, realizing that you don't have to do any work. The work you do is inspired. The work is already done. People listen to this and feel like, oh, I can be lazy. There's nothing about you that's being lazy. It requires discipline and effort to keep your mind aligned and to persist. Nothing about this is laziness. Manifestation is work. And that's the really weird thing. Like, when I tell you that you don't need to work out in the gym, you can literally use your will to affect matter. Mind over matter is magic. And so I can say this to someone who just spends all day in the gym and they'll laugh at me like, what? That's not realistic. But you don't understand the power of the mind, because it's metaphysical. It's yin. It brings form out of formlessness. And so if it's not physical enough to you, many people can kind of convert to primitive ways of forcefully doing this, but you can do both. And so it could be easy for someone to laugh and scoff at the fact that there's more mental work that's required to just persist. It's not as simple as just imagining that I'm in shape. It is intentfully and willfully acting as if you're already there. This is why certain people don't ever need to work out. There's certain people who have been told you need to do this exercise. They don't, and they still excel, because it's about your mind. The mind rules the body. You can work the body out all day and that will clear your mind, but you can do both. Mind body synergy. And so I'm saying this so that you don't dismiss, like some people just go full physical and dismiss the mental. Try and balance this, because we're in a new age. We're going to make a lot of these obsolete, primitive practices obsolete, that came in an age where people were just fucking stupid. I'm just be honest. The age of enlightenment that was supposed to bring more scientific discovery, which really just brought you niggas backwards. And through technology has destroyed the earth with so much shit. But don't worry, this is natural, squad. We're bringing a lot of these things back and understandings back with the South Node in Scorpio, unlocking this wisdom. So really, really meditate on this. Really, really ask yourself and understand the element of how this natural awakening is going to initiate this. Because the moon that's going to go over Uranus is going to remind you the supernatural qualities of your own physical body, as you will activate this in order to now harness energy in a much more unconventional way with Pluto and Aquarius, that is opening up the channels for this now that it is awakened through Capricorn in your physical body. Embrace the unconventional. This is going to be controversial, because you have a lot of people who are slow. Like, it's hard for them to understand these more advanced concepts, because they try and fit it in this limited box of a system that works. What works don't fix, but efficiency could be the greatest deceiver, because if something works, you won't really feel the need to innovate it. And that's not what we're doing here. This is a whole revolution. So you're going to be guided to make these realizations. Don't hold them back, because they're not normal. You're not here to be normal. You're not here to do things the way other people do them. No one else is you. That's your superpower. Get to innovating, okay? And you're going to come into a natural understanding of how to actually kick off that process. Don't pay anyone attention or seriousness to people who don't really know their shit. There's a lot of people. People have limited understanding of things that at best are only half true. Don't let people go off acting slick because they have half truths about you. Let's keep it full 100% true. The more people mind their business and just do their things and not give all this unsolicited advice that nobody asks them, is it better? So don't let people do that in an effort to reflect their insecurity and cognitive dissonance just so that you can fit into their reality, destroy their reality, assimilate it into yours. And you destroy their reality by just operating in your truth, which will collapse the fallacy at which they operate with, and you wouldn't have had to fight anyone or argue with people. Just resonate at your true frequency. For those of you ready to go God mode, the instructions and process to actually build this up throughout this year will be ready. And you might find that the beginning of this Taurus transit starts off with a bang. Shout out to Infinity Gang. We not playing with nobody, all right? And we limitless. you better know whether that's funny to you or not. You're not gonna be laughing by the time we finish this transit. Godspeed. Peace.